Hey, it is your girl, Paula Marie, aka the Ebony Biz Diva. Listen, we still in these Black Pinterest streets, baby. Today, this is the last part of the session. Definitely come on into the room. We're going to be here for about 30 minutes. I wanted to bring on just some special people that I've worked with because sometimes when you are learning new skills, when you are pivoting, when you are transitioning, when you are shifting, there needs to be just a little bit of assistance that goes along with it. You may not be able to see too far ahead. You may be limiting yourself. You may not be pushing yourself. You may be going to the left when really you should be going a little straighter. It's always good to have the support and the collaboration of, I call it team, because when I work with my clients, we're a team. So we're definitely working together. So I'm going to bring on a couple of people. Just to recap, today was our first day at Black Pinterest Live Presents Content Creation for Your Brand Culture Summit, baby. Did we have a time? We started inside of the summit just really talking about burnout and how to protect ourselves and put the oxygen mask on ourselves with licensed therapist Diane Jones. We went all the way through branding and photography. And then we jumped into marketing and how do we get our brands, our products, and our services into the big major leagues, because there are people that are doing it, and you're going to meet one of them in a few seconds. And then we segued into video content, short form and long form. Because if you're fearful of video, this is the time where you say, you know what? I'm going to pull my panties up and I'm going to step into the arena of video, because video is so important. It is how people consume 90% of their content. And so if we're not producing video, if we're not recycling video, if we're not converting video into different pieces of content, then we are working harder, not smarter, and we're leaving money on the table. So that's my 2 cents about today. Tomorrow is day 2 of Black Pinterest Live. I'm going to slide the banner underneath in a second. You can definitely click the link in the description, or just simply go to www.blk Pinterest Live. You see it? I'm chasing it on the side all the way over there. Yeah, alrighty. So I'm going to bring on my first guest. And I have not seen her in so long, Teresa.
What's up? Hi.
Hey, girl, listen. Teresa, tell the people who you are and what your superpowers are in the world.
I am Teresa R. Ellis. I am the owner of Teresa R. Ellis Movement and Wellness, formerly known as Pilates Bar and Jams. And my superpower is making people feel super confident in their bodies, pain free, standing tall with ease, moving with functionality, and just basically being a total badass. Always.
Which you are always. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to bring on my next guest. Okay. There she is, Mr. Kia. What's going on, Miss Black? How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I am good. I am loving the hair, queen. Like,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. I bought it.
Ah, Miss Black, tell the people who you are and your superpowers.
My name is Miss Black, and my superpower is helping women get their money straight. So I just want to make sure that everybody gets to live their best life. So just getting your money straight, knowing where it is, putting it where it needs to go so that you can become financially independent.
Ooh, child, I see another collaboration happening. Because we always like to know about our money, and we can never be educated enough about that. I'm
Mhm.
so happy that you're here. And then the last person that I'm going to bring up, OMG, her session today, y'all. Her session today. I'm not even going to say nothing else. I'm going to bring Tanya Cross to the stage.
Hey, Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? I'm Tanya Cross, and my superpower is creating unique, one of a kind accessory designs that people can resonate with and style with.
And and
And also, I am a handmade business coach where I help handmade businesses gain online brand visibility and start converting their followers into customers. Thanks for
okay,
hollering.
okay. It's new. I know it's a new thing.
Yeah, it's new. It's new.
Listen, but the reason why I wanted Tanya to talk about that piece is because today she didn't even talk about being a product based business. She talked about how she was able to get her products on Essence magazine without her knowing it. How she was able to get her products in a Netflix series, like being, with a costume designer, and how she was able to network and collaborate on different things with different people so that her product was shown on the Jennifer Hudson show. So I'm going to always shout out my people because my people are always doing amazing things. And if they're not going to shout themselves out, I'm loud. I'm going to go in the mic and I'm going to shout real loud for everybody in the world. So, ladies, thank you so much for coming in. I just wanted to have a moment during the summit where we talk about like what was your why when you connected with me, because we all connected at different places and in different spaces. Like I met Teresa in a Pilates group, just a Pilates Facebook group. And she was like, hey, I need some help and I want to know a little bit more. And I met Miss Black on Clubhouse during COVID. And so that was a whole nother like area and arena. And then Tanya, I don't even know how I met Tanya. I've just known her so long. How did I meet you, Tanya?
I was gonna say I don't even remember how we met either, but I know why we met.
I forgot to put my glasses on. Yeah, we met because we were supposed to meet. But I know Tanya came to me. She wanted to get really intentional about this Pinterest. So, what was it about Pinterest that made you feel like I just got to get more? I need more. And what was it about me?
Okay, the reason why I chose Pinterest was because I'm a numbers girl, so I'm always looking at my stats and my analytics, and I realized Pinterest was driving the most traffic to my online shops. So I was like, hey, I got to figure out how to optimize this, how to maximize this. So I searched out for a Pinterest coach, but I wanted somebody that I could relate to and that could relate and resonate with me as a Black woman, business owner, creative, artist. And when I found Paula, it was like my prayers was answered. And I was like, thank goodness I found somebody that I could really relate to and could really understand the process of developing a product, because at that time, well, you still do. You had a product based business yourself. So you knew what that looked like and could help me navigate through that and figure out what that would look like for me as well.
Yeah, like, and I will say that I'm so proud of all the um traction and movement that you got on the platform because I mean you were just rolling like tens of thousands of views like every single month, and that type of traffic is priceless in your business because with Pinterest there's no one needs to know who you are. They just want to know that you got the thing that they need or that they're looking for that's going to help them or that's going to make them feel good. So if they're looking on Pinterest, they're searching for something. People aren't going on Pinterest just to browse. They're intentionally looking for something. And that's the difference between a search engine and a social media platform. Miss Black, Now we met on Clubhouse, and Clubhouse was popping. I don't even recognize Clubhouse right now, but Clubhouse was popping. What was it that you were searching for, and how is it that you and I were able to connect?
So it was really interesting because I felt like you and I were in a crazy group, but you always made sense. And so the little group was crazy. The people were
I
crazy.
forgot about that.
Yes, the group was crazy, but you were sane. And I was like, this is a woman who doesn't deal with the foolishness. And you were also very giving, right? And I think as an entrepreneur, when you're starting out, you're always, we don't always have money as Black women. We don't, kind of know where to put our money and where to put our trust. And so for some to meet someone who was very giving of their knowledge and their skill, especially when you're starting out, was really, really helpful. But in the crazy group, you were also sane. So that also said to me, I can
I
trust her.
totally, I totally like, when something isn't for me, I let that thing go.
Yeah, no, we blocked that. We had to block that. So it was just like
Yeah.
very
So
giving and very just like I was an early adopter of Pinterest myself, like personally. So I like used to pin food. I bought a fixer upper house. So every room had its own board. So I understood it as a consumer or a participant in the platform, not necessarily on the entrepreneurial side. And that's what you did for me, right? You kind of said, you don't always have to like this is how to be a producer on this site, right, on this platform, instead of just a consumer or a user of the platform. But really it was your sanity and your willingness to give
yeah.
that attracted me and allowed me to trust you to guide me in the right way on becoming a producer on or a content creator on Pinterest rather than just a consumer of it.
Right. Yeah, I totally forgot about the crazy group, but this is the thing in business, y'all. You're gonna meet some crazy people, and that's okay. You gotta put yourself in spaces where you've gotta have a level of discernment and kind of push through all of the craziness to get to your people. Because in business, this entrepreneur world, it is not easy. It is very challenging when you don't know, when you don't have access. And so we just want to make sure, for me, I just want to make sure that everyone has access. If everyone has access, I can never give you enough because there's just so much to what I do. But you can never give me enough because there's so much to what you do. So that's the biggest lesson that I've learned is that I don't have to keep all my things to myself and wait until you get into a paid group with me or you become a private client or we work together in some other way. There's enough knowledge and there's enough levels in business that we all have to go through our levels. And once you get to a certain level and you plateau, there's another level to go to. And so it took me a minute to understand that because as just as an entrepreneur, I hit a ceiling where I just didn't want to do Pinterest anymore. And I didn't want people to say anything about Pinterest to me. And it was like, I don't want to be the Pinterest girl anymore, right? Because I was so much bigger than Pinterest. But Pinterest is a big thing, right? Pinterest is content, which is why this summit is about content creation. Pinterest is about funnels, which is what we focused on last year during Black Pinterest Live, is creating funnels. Pinterest is about your imagery and your video. Pinterest is about your back end and your analytics. Pinterest has so many different layers to it that there's not there's not a ceiling for me. There's always going to be someone that's going to need analytics or need to know imagery and content, how to put the content together, how to connect the pieces to the other platforms, like how to make it make sense, right? How to create your funnels. What does your email look like, right? So all the things, SEO. So once I learned that lesson, then I was able to say, yeah, I'm the Pinterest girl. I'm the Pinterest girl. Teresa, I haven't seen her in so long.
Hi. Um, you know, everything that everyone says, I echo that. As a person who is an artist, I feel like my bodies are molds of clay for me to mold them into fabulousness. And so, paperwork and back end stuff and business stuff is not, it's like I want to just be creating and working with my clients and being collaborating with them on to get them out of pain. And all of the other things, I'm like, I don't care. However, Paula, I'll never forget when we went into pandemic in the early parts and we were in our Pilates group and Paula said, you need to be recording your classes because you can use that. And I was like, oh, okay. And I am happy to say now, Paula, because of you, I have almost 200 videos. I am
What?
creating a video on demand library right now for my clients. And I record a class. I have a theme of the week. I record that every week. So I have 2 years of weekly content because of you. And just want to say thank you.
Because you never know. Like one of the speakers today, Dr. Sade, I have to get used to saying Dr. Sade because she wasn't a doctor when I first started working with her. Dr. Sade, why I do, she said, I'm sitting on content, but we're going to push content out. Even if my hair is not done, my face doesn't look right, I've gained weight, we're not waiting for it to be perfect. We're going to push this content out because at the end of the day, people just want your expertise. But when you have this piece of content, there's a freedom to how you disperse it into the world. Now we don't have to get together and scramble and try to create content. We've got content. We just have to figure out when. We don't have
Right.
to figure out the what. And you can use it for whatever you want. But also, isn't it good to have content? Because this has happened to me where I did a lot of speaking over the last year and a half, and I traveled like everywhere. I was in Las Vegas with the PMAs for Las Vegas, was in Detroit, was in Atlanta, was in North Carolina, of course. Just traveling and speaking. And it's interesting when you get to a certain level or you apply to speak or you inquire to speak at a certain level, they literally just want the recording. They want some video. They want to know, like, what do you do? They want to see the magic online. If they can see it online, then you're perfect. It's like, oh, like you're in. So I got a lot of offers just because of the video that I had already created. I've got this library of content on my YouTube for Ebony Biz Diva, and I'm just going live and giving all the goodness that I know to give on that day, right? And so I want to talk to Nakia because when we met, you were doing a podcast. And so when you were doing that podcast, how was content creation for you when you were putting your podcast out? And do you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it. So it's staying in the black, and thus I am Miss Black. And I talk about teachers and money because I'm an educator. And oftentimes people think that educators, we don't make a lot of money, truth be told, but it's not how much you make, but how much you keep. Right. And we have some great benefits that allow us to maximize our money in a way that teachers are actually in the top 5 of careers that become millionaires because we know how to make a dollar out of 15 cents. So when I was a principal, when I would hire new teachers and even with my current teachers, I would just ask them, like, are you maximizing your benefits? And I would like stay on them. And they were like, you need to have a blog. You need to do this because there's no one telling us what to do or guiding us with our money. And I hate to write. So I, but I love to talk. I was always like, she's the talkative one in elementary school. And so I decided to start a podcast. And that podcast, I just The first year, it was all about interviewing teachers who had side hustles, because a lot of teachers have second jobs for various reasons. And so it was just like, you hear about the teacher who has the side hustle, but you don't necessarily know how to make that happen.
Right.
And so I would interview teachers with side hustles. Then as my son entered his senior year, I couldn't deal with the interviewing, and I just started doing solo episodes, which I was afraid to do. I thought that I didn't really have much to share. I have a lot of knowledge, but like just sharing my knowledge and experience versus interviewing somebody. So that was a huge hurdle for me to overcome. And I just started thinking about, like, I am 3 years out from retirement. I'm a single mom. I'm now an empty nester. My mom lives with me. So it just, all the layers of finances that women deal with, independent of being an educator, but especially on an educator salary, because people are like, girl, you don't make no money. How you how you making this work? And I work for the largest school system in the nation, which means I have a large opportunity for a large audience. And I just put out a weekly episode, come rain, come shine. I don't feel good. I don't have to get dressed for it. I don't do it with video because I'm anonymous. So I don't have to get dressed for it. That's why I was able to buy this. It looks like my avatar. And I just get to put the information out. And I've been doing it for 3 years. And now I get the feedback. Taking your class, though, helped me think of another platform. I live on IG, but with taking your workshop helped me put it on Pinterest and just give me another avenue for people to find my podcast. But the main thing is being consistent, whether my episode is 15 minutes long or whether it's an hour and a half long. It is going to be financial information that's going to help you get to the next level.
I love that because um, I know that when we first got together, I was on your podcast, and just to see like how it's evolved and it's changed and grown, like that's amazing. That's the thing that people don't realize is that you may not feel like you know a lot, but if you know more than the person you're talking to, you're the expert. So, how do we package this expertise in a way that shows up in content? And how do we not burn out doing the thing that we want to do? The thing that's going to keep us going. I was using Kanye West as an analogy because, during the Super Bowl, child, he paid $7 million for his Super Bowl spot. He ain't had no commercial. So he had to pull out his cell phone and say, look, we ain't have no commercial because we spent all our money to get on this spot. But y'all go to the website. We're gonna drop the link somewhere. It's gonna be your day. That's exactly what he said. He said, I don't even know what we're gonna have. We're gonna have something for you when you get to the site. So when you get to the site, we're gonna have something for you, but go to the site. And that speaks to how Kanye commands his space. And as entrepreneurs, we need to command our space. We need to know, okay, this is who we are. And even if we don't have all the things, even if it's not perfect in the way that people may make you think is perfect, it's going to be imperfectly perfect to you because you're consistently showing up and you're consistently being who you authentically are. And that's a huge thing. The one thing I wanted all of my clients, because when I first started, like Teresa was in my very first workshop. Like I was working as a manager for a local government agency here in the DMV and loving my job, but not loving who I was working with and not loving how I was being suppressed. And then ushers in the pandemic, and it was a lot going on with the pandemic, and I realized I don't really need to be stressed like this. So I took some time off, and when I took that downtime, I took like 3 months off. I said, "Let me try this business thing." And I did a workshop, and Teresa signed up for my very first workshop. And I'm not even going to tell y'all how much that was, okay? But I learned so much facilitating that workshop because it literally came to me. I showed up inside of a community. I talked about Pinterest every week. I said, oh, I've got this program that I'm offering. It was a 4-week program. It filled up. I had people signed up. It didn't take me long to fill it. And I ended up extending the program because there was just so much I wanted to give. And I was still trying to work out the kinks of like being a coach and what to give and what to offer. And the only way you're going to do that is to do it. The only way you're going to learn those lessons is to do it. So the reason I wanted to just bring each of you on is because I know that there's somebody that's thinking about like, I need help, but I don't know how to get this help and I don't know who to trust. And maybe they've been burned. I've been burned. Okay. Yes. It's a lot of people that they look the part. And it's not that they don't give, it's that they're not clear in what they give. So the way what they give is packaged. It's packaged like this chapstick. But really what they give is like it's like this coffee mug. You know? So like you said I was gonna get this and my lips wouldn't get chapped, but now you giving me this empty cup. I ain't even got nothing in it. So we've got to be very clear about what we're offering. And that comes to the types of content you're creating and making sure you're tapping into who you are. But more importantly, what's the transformation? So, Tanya, you shifted because when you came to me, you were and still are. I'm wearing your earrings. Wearing your earrings today. I said, I got to wear Tanya's earrings today. Um, Came to me as a product-based business. Now, Tanya has amazing jewelry and hair accessories, right? But when we were talking one day in a session, I said, you need to be a coach and you need to tell people how to do the things you're doing because I'm only giving you like certain things to do and you're taking it and you are making it grow, you are multiplying it. So what was the shift or the transition? Because I know when I first told you, you were like, huh? You know, but I saw that on your spirit.
Right. Um, the transition for me, I think during COVID. During COVID, when COVID happened, when COVID was taking place, and people was looking for other income revenue streams, and they wanted to do a side business or have a handmade business, but they just needed that help and telling where to start and knowing where to start and how to get the visibility and all that good stuff. But not only with the coaching though did you help me navigate through. I have since being with you, I've created a few other revenue streams, because you always plant that seed and say, you know what, you could be doing this or you could be doing that. And I was like, yeah, I can. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for that because one of those income revenue streams that is really working for me now is the adult accessory making classes. Like I would have never considered a thought of that to the point where it was doing well. And also, for those of you who don't know, she also provides grant writing services. And I received a grant for my accessory making class. So, yeah. So right now I'm offering it for free because they're covering the cost and all that stuff. But even offering it for free, it's still building me a clientele. So once the classes aren't available for free anymore, I still have a customer base. So yeah.
Yeah. And just think about the content that you're going to be able to like have at the end of that. Testimonials. Like whip the phone out and say, "Hey, do you want to say anything about today's class?" Like, yeah, cuz we have all the content we need. We just need to understand like how to work through it. But this is the other thing that I want to say is that I had to learn over time. When I first started, I was blessed. I had really great clients like Teresa. And I don't know if you remember Anna, but Anna was so amazing. Like She was. I gotta play her video before we end. Her child, this girl, she got like 20,000 views in like 2 weeks on Pinterest. And it was unheard of. She said, "I just did what you told me to do." Right? Um, and now she's doing great. So the thing I had to learn was to have a level of discernment, because as I started to elevate, I realized that I was being pushed to I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I do love getting paid. Okay. But the type of client that I love to serve cannot meet me at that level. And I found I don't enjoy those types of clients. I enjoy working with clients that are starting, that are pivoting and shifting, that need a nudge or a push, that need to maybe overhaul their business and think outside of the box, like Tanya said. Because if I have a conversation with you, I'm going to have about 5 different ways we can go. And I'm gonna lay it out for you, and I'm gonna say which one works for you, which one makes you excited, because that's the one we need to pick, because my brain just creates that way. I don't like working for people who don't want it, and I don't like working with people who want to throw money at it. I like working for people that when they make their first sale with me, like they can't even breathe. They're so excited. When they get to 20,000 views on the platform of Pinterest, they're so excited. Like when they get a whole conversion off the platform onto their email list or a collaboration, they're so excited. I want them to understand this is a partnership, and I can't do it without you. It has to be something that you want, because the more you want it, the more I want it. And that's really what coaching is. I'm not here to dictate. I'm here to just say, I see this for you, because maybe my vision is brighter than yours, and my vision has to be, because eventually then you will have the brightest vision for yourself. But sometimes you don't come that way. Most times you don't. Most times your light is dim. Maybe you've tried all the things, you've worked with some people, and when you come to me, it's real dark. But it's okay, because I have technicolor around me. When I walk, grass grows. So I know that. And so I have to have that energy for each and every one of you. And I'm going to knock this to Teresa, because Teresa, I know, has gone through a lot of shifts since we last talked um, on the little Zooms that we used to have inside of the community. How has your vision for your business shifted?
Oh, well, I was formerly I had a different business, same business, but a different name and a different focus. And now I am more focused on the whole being of wellness. I became a health and wellness coach, and in addition to a Pilates teacher. And so now my whole thing is to like help people as the whole package, not just in the aesthetics. I was never about the aesthetics ever, but it's more about like what's happening internally and all of that. And also, as a woman who is aging, I'll be 53 this year. I As I'm aging, I'm like, oh, there are a lot of changes that need to be made as I age. And I'm like, no one's really, I mean, people are talking about it now, but it never comes where they're like, just work out. And I'm like, right, well, work out in what way? Like I had to quit drinking, I had to quit smoking. I was never smoking. I smoked a long time ago. I had to drink drinking coffee. I'd stop eating meat, like everything in order for me to like function. And so I'm like, oh, there's a way to do this. So that pivot is like working with, I call it the senescent population, which means aging. It's a fancy word for aging. So the senescent population, in addition to still working with the queer population because I am queer, and working with the cutie POC, the queer, trans, Black, Indigenous, people of color folks, and everyone in between. And working with those people, like Like Paula, I love working with people who have never done Pilates before. I love introducing people to how their body moves and how to geek out on like why your shoulders might be doing that and let's fix it, to getting into the really the root of it all. And so my thing is I want to work with clients who want that, not just to. I don't want people to throw money at me and then they don't show up. Like I'll take your money, but make it a donation so I can give it to someone else. You know, because I'm still donating classes to people as well. And so that's where my pivot has gone from. I'm staying online. I was in person, but now my classes are only online, and I do privates in person. So I'm an appointment only privates teacher here in Las Vegas.
Here in Las Vegas, I'm only private only. Like you can only access me through privates. Like
In my private studio here on my property.
I love it. It's knowing your worth. It's not chasing all the things. It's being firm in who you are. And that's what I hear each and every one of you doing. And I'm just so happy because I feel like for us as Black women, there has to be a time when we know, say, and do things that represent our authenticity unapologetically. And I see that in each and every one of you. And I'm just so proud of that. Miss Black, can you tell me, because you look, you about to retire in a couple years, like, child, what we gonna do when you retire? Like, what, you ready to travel? Like,
Come to Las
what?
Vegas private.
Yeah, go to Las Vegas with some privates, get you
Visit
some
your
handmade
property.
jewelry from Tanya. So tell me how the mindset has shifted, because you had just started the podcast. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's like so many like levels that you've gone through to get you to this point that you are right now with all the
So,
fierceness. The fierce.
so it is very interesting. I'm a planner, right? And so when I think about, like, I'm always like a year or two ahead, and some people like, do you enjoy? I enjoy my life, right? But I believe in being intentional. And so for me, um, I always collect quotes, and one of my favorite is speak what you seek until you see what you say, right? So 10 years before I was supposed to retire, I'm a public school teacher. I get pension consultations. So I went 10 years before I would have the age to retire to make sure my money was going to be okay, right? You can do a lot with your money in 10 years. So I wanted to make sure that money was going to be okay. And I said, I named my retired self. Her name is Lola. And because whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. I am a saver. And so I'm a natural saver. So I squirrel like money away all the time. But once I had that conversation, it really put me on this path to, one, I knew I wanted to retire and be financially independent. I only want to work when I want to work. Right. It has not, like, I'm fortunate. I love what I do. I feel like I have impact. So there's nothing wrong with my job, but I want to do it when I want to do it, not when someone tells me when I have to do it. So it started me on this pathway of figuring out, like, one, how much money I needed to have in my retirement accounts to be financially independent, and then exploring what I wanted to do in my next chapter. I speak to people all the time, and especially Black women, and oftentimes they don't retire because they haven't planned what they want to do. So they don't have anything else to do. They won't want to be bored. They don't Work becomes their lives. That's where they socialize. That's where they earn their money. Like, it's work. Everything surrounds them. So I had to explore. So podcasting was something that I was interested in. So I said, can I be consistent? Right? Can I put out an episode a week? So that I've been doing that for 3 years. My job offered me the opportunity to become a certified coach. So I am a, ICF ACC coach. I also applied for a scholarship because you know how we like to collect certifications as Black women. So I am also a accredited financial counselor because I felt like if I'm talking to people about their money, I want them to believe and know that I have the information to really counsel them. So in doing all of that, I explore things that I want to do, that I like. If I don't like it, so what? I quit it. I still have a job, right? So I'm just trying to figure it out. And in that pathway, money brings me security. Do I know like a sense of security? I know like nothing's promised, but it gives me a sense of security and helping other women. So women are always asking me like, how do you know this? Why do you do these things? And that's what I share on my podcast. When I speak to other educators that are doing side hustles, how did you become this? And interviewing you for my show, it was, you're a coach. When do you know that you need a coach? When do you know, like, what questions should you ask a coach? How does a coach support you? Because you, like you said, you can't do the work for them. They have to want it. So just giving people support around what it is, and in doing that for other people, it accelerated. So I went from going 10 years to retirement to figuring out I actually only had 7 years. So I can retire younger than the mandatory age for my retirement system. And I can do that because I've put so much money away that I can actually afford to pay for my mortgage and my health care and not work if I chose not to. And it's because I set the goal, right? So I was just like, I want to do this and I want to be independent. And I check. I went to I went to two different certified financial planners to make sure that the money would last. Because I was like, one might tell me, yeah, but they might have messed up on the math. But going to the other person, it was like, this is what works. And so once you put it in the universe that this is what you want to do, God, whoever you believe in, your higher power, your community will support you in doing it. So speak what you seek until you see what you say. If you say that you want to do it and you continue to say it, your actions will follow because you're saying it to yourself all the time. And that's what I've learned so far
Yeah,
in this journey.
I love it. Look who popped in. You were on that bottom shelf, and it's when I get too many people, I can't see that bottom line underneath. I'm so sorry, Gail. How are you? I muted you. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. Hi, Teresa.
Hey, tell the people who you are and what your superpower is, Queen.
My name's Gail Forrester. I own a Pilates studio and a wellness company in South Florida. I'm in Palm Beach, Florida, and it's finally sunny. But Paula is the guru of all things business. So I I, I don't even know where to start. But that's my superpower. I work with my demographics changing. I used to say the seasoned or the advanced aging folks, but I'm in a new studio space and the demographics changing for me, and I still love it. Like Teresa, I'm appointment only, private, and I'm moving into some semi-privates, small groups, 3 and 4, and I'm blessed to be able to do that and do it for a living. So,
Listen, South Florida, Las Vegas, private only. Like, I don't know. My I'm happy for my Pilates sisters because when you get to when you get to determine how people have access to you,
mm,
that's the thing.
you can say no. I don't have those times available when you want to.
Yeah, you can say that, or you can just say no because you want to say no.
You
Like
could.
no is a great word. It's a great word.
It's a
Like
complete sentence. I've
it's
heard
a
that.
whole sentence with an
Mm-hmm.
exclamation point on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a check mark. Yeah. So I know that Teresa has to go because she said I got a hard stop because I'm in these streets and I got bodies to heal and I gotta put these hands on people. In Las Vegas, they don't know nothing about me, but they about to find out.
Thank you so much, Paula. It was so lovely to meet you. Miss Black, I'm going to be looking for you. Tanya, if you have gauges, I'm going to be looking for you because I have plugs. I can't wear specific earrings or I'll lose them. And Miss Gail, it's always nice to see you. Tanya, Paula, I love you. Thank
Love you
you.
back.
Bye, everyone.
All righty. So we were just about to wrap up, but I did ask everybody, Gail, I said, what was it about your business and where you were in your business that made you take the leap to work with me?
At the time, I knew I needed support. I think, well, I shouldn't assume, whoever else is on the platform here, but when you are good at what you do, and I think, forgive me of her name, the lady that does jewelry, when you know you're good at something and you have those strengths and you step out in faith that you're going to make this work, you don't know what you don't know what you don't know. Um, so I knew I needed support on whether it was marketing, and she's a Pinterest queen. I wanted to deepen my understanding of how it works, as well as have a presence there. I tend to be a little resistant to social media, and it's made me a lot more comfortable knowing that, this works. Uh, your approach to the teaching aspect of it. Not everyone can impart knowledge well, and you really walk away with a good grasp. And you did that. And again, I'm very resistant to social media. You were very hands on with me. I mean, you walked through step by step. So when I was done, I had a functioning page. And could definitely feel
You
like, yeah, you
did.
know
You
what, I can
did.
do this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I'm glad you said that because someone today inside of the summit says I don't like video. And
Mm.
I don't like doing video, you know. And I don't know if you were in here when Teresa stated she's got like 200 videos now.
Oh, wow, I missed that.
Yeah, she's got 200 videos now because she has with COVID, she had to go online.
Yeah,
And I kept telling everybody, y'all need to be recording your videos.
yeah,
And she has over 200 now. And so when it comes to like what you don't know, what you don't know, what you don't know, it's not really what you don't know, it's really adding to what you do know.
it is.
It's like understanding the capacity that you have and saying, this is where I am. And I want to add some layers to that. I don't want to build a house. I just want to add some layers. And if you go in it with that mindset, then you will definitely grow because you're
True.
not trying to learn everything in a week or a month or a quarter. You're only learning the layers and you're working the layers. And once you work the layers and you know, I can do this like blindfolded, now we can add more layers. And then once you work in that way, then you're able to touch it, mold it, and then grow it. But we can't grow what we haven't touched. And a lot of times when people want coaching, they just want to grow. But you got to get in there and touch your business. You got to get in there and touch your brand. You got to get in there and see what works and what doesn't work. You got to get in there and see what you like and what you don't like. And once you do that, then you'll be able to grow. And it's important for me that you grow in some way, whether it's a huge way or not so huge way. So, um, and I think you already answered this, Gail. Like, how's your business shifted and grown because now you only do privates,
Um,
appointment only.
like many of us, we had to, the buzzword in 2020 was pivot. And I did do the online space for a long time. And I felt that my clientele needed the hands on after a while. Now, the blessing is they were online with me up until December of 15th of last year. So 3 going on 4 years. I was fortunate to be able to keep the lights on with these clients. So, but as they were getting older, I feel like they needed that resistance from a reformer, from the Cadillac, from the Wonder Chair, all of it. And so I found a phenomenal space. It's like oceanside. It's just incredible. I'm like, pinch me that this is where I landed. And so I expanded the business. I'm still online with some clients because I expanded to places like St. Louis and Virginia. I have not met these clients to date, but so I'm doing both. And my next vision is to come up with a plan. And forgive me, I can't see well with the names, but the financial planner to, set up my next step would be a wellness center in the area so that, have that freedom to do what you want, although I'm pretty flexible now, but I've got some high-end clients when they fly in private and they want to meet Sundays and they pay very, very well. And I really enjoy the session with them. I'm going to go and meet with them. So there would be some I would love some flexibility to not have to always be there, hire somebody to go in. So hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, it did. But also, I heard that little collab happening, that little collaboration and networking happening. I love me a good networking session there. I love it when people connect.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I love it. So, Tanya, this is my last question. What would you say to anybody who is on the fence, that is struggling or feeling like they need support, but they just don't feel like they can get support? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, get off the fence and get off the fence and get the support you need, because I shared this with somebody this week. I know my strengths. I know what my strengths are, and I know where areas I'm not strong. And those areas where I'm not strong, that's where I seek help at. And it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to need help. But the difference is getting the help. You gotta make that a priority for yourself, for your business, to get the help you need to excel and to accelerate. So
Yeah,
get off the fence
absolutely.
and get the help.
Get the help. And I know there was a lot of help today being had, because the summit today, baby, like oh Jesus. I'm telling you. So Gail was a participant of the Black Pinterest Live,
Yeah.
which was in person and virtual last year. Yeah, this year, 12 speakers, 50 participants. Is different. And I almost didn't do it because
What?
it, when things don't work out the way you want to work out, and you have that imposter syndrome that's telling you why your thing didn't work out the way you envisioned it, when really things work out the way they're supposed to.
All the
It's
time.
already been ordered. And so that I have to keep telling myself, like, that's my affirmation. But today was amazing for me, just to sit back and just see, like, everybody moving between the sessions and getting so much information. And Tanya was one of my speakers, and she threw it on the floor in my Cardi B Lotto voices. So she put it all on the floor, and that's who I am. I want to collaborate with people that I already know, and that I know their heart center, but I also know that they are good at what they do, and that they can deliver something that will help somebody turn a light bulb on. So, Tanya thought, oh, she was just coming to talk about Pinterest. And I was like, no, this isn't a Pinterest summit. We're sponsoring it, but this is not a Pinterest summit. We're talking about that other thing you do, because we want to know how to get that good marketing too. I want to know how I can get magazine articles written on me and not even talk to a reporter. Like, save me some time. That's what I want to know. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for coming in. Miss Black, do you have anything that you want to share with any of our listeners before, and especially our replay, hashtag replay listeners, before
Yeah,
we
I
log
think
off?
the key with getting a coach is it helps you not reinvent the wheel, right? So having a coach, they have been through the experience. They give you the shortcuts that you don't even know that you're getting, right? So yes, you can go to YouTube University. You can ask 12 people, or you get a coach. Right, and the coach is saying, "Here's the structure, here's the steps," and you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and so sometimes making that investment in a coach, no matter where you're getting the coaching at, financial, wellness, business-wise, really, you the cost comes from saving you the time. Time is money, and so going to a coach will save you time, thereby saving you money and headache. So if you're questioning it and you're trying to figure it out and understand, I used to say I'm cheap, I'm frugal, right? I know where every dollar is going and why it's going where it is. And when I think about it is when I get coaching on something, when I got coaching from Paula when she came onto my podcast, it was really about I am struggling in this lane. And if I work with this person, they will get me where I want to go faster. And so if you have to think about it that way, and then that's what's trying to making like helping you make the decision, like you're like, can I afford it? Sometimes it could you can't afford not to because you spend so much time trying to figure it out without the coach. I mean, I'm not just saying, again, I'm frugal. So I'm not just saying it to say it or because I'm on this platform, but that's
Yeah.
really the purpose, to not reinvent the wheel and to get where you want to go a bit faster. That's the purpose of the coach.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important, it's super important to make sure that you find a coach that you can be transparent with, because I have had people that weren't ready to like open up their lives.
Mhm.
And a good coach, they're going to see it. They're going to see that there's some pieces that are missing. You're not divulging a lot of things, and we can't get to the other side with that. So it has to be somebody that you really feel comfortable with. But also, we have to have an end game. We got to have a goal. And the goal has to be tied to a monetary dollar amount, because that's why we're here. So if we don't have a monetary dollar amount, if we don't have a number set of units, if we don't have something to get a SMART goal to get to, it's not going to work. And so, what I would say to anyone who is thinking about coaching, make sure that you have a SMART goal when you go in there, and make sure you share your SMART goal with your coach, because that may be a goal they don't deliver. And
Mm,
I've had to tell people, oh, that's not something that I would do. And the main reason I wanted Tanya to go into coaching is because I realized that even though I have a product and I've ran my product based business, that's not my wheelhouse. So anybody that I get that has a product based business, I just refer to Tanya. So we all need to think more about the community and the collaboration. And that's what coaching is. It's a collaboration. It's not someone telling you what to do. It is the collaboration of meeting what they are, their expertise is delivering with where you are, and how you can bridge the gap to earn some revenue, shore up your business foundations, get more speaking engagements, finish talking about that website. Because I'm tired of hearing people talk about that website ain't built. And that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting on the website. So you waiting on your healing for the website? You waiting on your peace for the website? Like, woo. Ladies, I'm done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One of the Facebook users said, the post is on. Um, Thanks to all of you beautiful sisters for the plethora of information you all have given this evening. This was an amazing day of much needed information. Thanks again. Wow, let's get it popping. good. Alrighty. I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes, but you all are free to go. And thank you for giving me a little bit of your time today.
Thanks
My
for
Thank
having
pleasure.
us.
you.
Thank
Enjoy it.
you.
Good to
Bye,
connect with everybody.
Pleasure meeting
everybody.
you, ladies. Have a great
It's
night.
good
Be
meeting you
well.
too. Bye.
Bye.
So, yeah, that's what it's like to form bonds with people that you've worked with. Not only your coach to client relationship, but also within the community. There's a sisterhood that's inside of the community. And every place that I'm in, I want to build that community because we're not in business to do this alone. Like, if you think that you're in business and you've got to do this by yourself alone, you are sadly mistaken. Just like Gail said, I need to connect with Miss Black. I need some financial coaching to get me to the goal that I want. Those are the types of collaborations that we need to have more of. And we can only do those when we're inside of community and when we're inside of a safe space that allows us to be able to have those conversations and say, yeah, this is what I need, and this is what I want, and this is what I desire. So I want to share something with you really quickly. And then I've got to rest because true child, the body is weak and the body is tired. So, um, I am launching my content creation collab. It is something I've been working on, and it's a piece of a huge coaching program that I did a few years ago. But it focuses directly on this content creation thing that makes everyone nervous. And it's layered inside of my ProblemSlayer Academy. So, the focus of the collab is a focus on securing your business foundational systems. And what does that mean? It means that before we can create any type of content, we got to make sure we have the right systems in place that work for our business and our budget. There is no system that is too small that you cannot get these things moving inside of your business. We also need to work on growing your tribe. Remember, we're trying to create a culture inside of our brands and our business. We want the people that come to come to us because they feel that energy and they want more of it. And that way you're attracting your right ideal clients, but your ideal clients know fully what they're walking into because you're being your authentic visual brand self. So we need to build our tribe. There's too many of you as entrepreneurs that don't have an email list. There's too many of you as entrepreneurs that's using your social media as your count of success or engagement. When really we need to dig into our numbers, as Tanya said, to really relate more into if our business is really doing what it needs to do or where the deficits are and how we can grow those deficits. Then we need to dig into the content creation because we can't just start creating content if we don't have foundational systems in place and we don't have a tribe that we're speaking to. And then we need to launch your superpower because some of you are being very small. You're playing small. You say that you are a Pilates instructor, for example, but don't you want to be a Pilates instructor that only has private sessions, that only works with a set number of people or a set demographic of people, such as Gail and Teresa? Don't you want to be able to dive into something like Miss Black with her podcasting, which started off as something to do because she knew if I'm going to retire, I need to have something to do. And I don't want to wait until I retire to get into it. I want to understand it and build it so that this can be a viable business when I am ready to retire. And we need to understand exactly what our superpower looks like and all the layers. So, just as Tanya is a product based business, she's also an amazing coach who uses amazing strategies to market her business, who's had her jewelry being seen on Netflix and Essence and the Jennifer Hudson show, and countless celebrity costumers and designers have used her jewelry. So we need to understand that even though we may have a business that moves in one way, we are multifaceted and we are multi talented. And this is the time where we start to really understand, are we playing ourselves too short? And then we come to the business of it all. Like, how much time is this going to take? What does it look like? Right? We're training once a week. And inside of those trainings, we're working on specific tasks that you're going to be working on. Each month, you're going to be focused on a specific thing. By the end of that month, you will have touched it so much that you can really hone in, grow it, and move on to the next, because it is now a stepping stone to get to the next layer that we need to build. We have Q&A one time a month. That's when you ask the questions that are specific to you. We will meet every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And if you want private sessions, those are discounted to you at a special rate. And also, my virtual assistant team, my graphics design team are available to you at a discounted price. Because I know some of you don't want to create the content. You just want to outsource that thing out. And we're going to talk about more of that tomorrow inside of day 2 of the content creation for your brand culture summit. And you'll also have access to our monthly coaching program, the Pinterest Room. The Pinterest Room is where we really focus on Pinterest. So you're actually getting 2 programs in one. There's a signing bonus. So if you sign up by the end of Black Pinterest Live, content creation for your brand culture summit, then you will be gifted a VIP weekend, which has a video master class. We'll be staying at the National Harbor. And my new partner, Bali and Spring Spa, will be hosting us as well. And this will be in September. Let me tell you something about the spa, baby. That's just the ground level. There are 2 levels of the spa. Sorry, 3. There are 2 more levels of the spa. And so a day at the spa is exactly what you need, because at the end of the day, we cannot continue to pour into our business and not pour into ourselves. And I'm talking about a 3-level comprehensive spa with a rooftop heated pool with multiple steam rooms and saunas, free classes throughout the day, 3 restaurants, and a bar. So when we come for our VIP weekend, we are definitely going to be VIPs, okay? All of that is available to you, and it's for such a nominal price. I have cut it in half. So my rate to each and every one of you who are interested is 50%. If you're interested, even if you're hashtag replay, type me in the comments and I'll connect with you to talk further about what your needs are, but also how we can help you get to the end of the promised line, how we can get to that SMART goal and complete it, so that when you walk out of 2024, your business is different. It's stronger. It's brighter. You're building it out. I am so excited about what is in store for the upcoming year. And I know that there is something for each and every one of you inside of what I just showed you. It's just up to you if you want to take it, if you want to be fearless enough to ask about it. So don't forget, type me in the comments and I'll circle back around and we will connect, because I want to make sure that I give you time. If you're investing any parts of yourself into anything, you deserve time. So let's connect. Have an amazing evening. Get some rest. And we start day 2 tomorrow inside of content creation for your brand culture summit. Peace.